long ago in the land of Israel. There was a young boy called David, son of Jesse, born in Bethlehem, the youngest of 8 sons. Under the wide blue sky of Bethlehem, young David spent his days in the fields with his father's sheep. With a gentle hand and a watchful eye, he led them across the green pastures and beside the quiet waters. He fought off a lion from harming the sheep. This encounter was not just a test of physical might, but a divine preparation. For it was through these moments of life and death that David's heart was forged for greater battles to come. Each victory, each act of bravery and faith, sowed the seeds of the legend he was to become, the slayer of giants, the future king of Israel. David also loves playing his harp. His music was more than just sound. It was a prayer, a hope for better days, and a comfort to him. The wise old prophet Samuel went to the house of Jesse as God had directed him. He was on a very special mission to find and anoint the new king of Israel, someone chosen not for his strength or size, but for his heart. As David stood before the old prophet, God whispered to Samuel, "Rise and anoint him, this is the one." Samuel took a holy oil and anointed David as the future king of Israel. At this time in the lands of ancient Israel, 2 mighty armies stood poised for battle on either side of the valley. On one hill, the Israelites, cloaked in uncertainty and fear, lined up in battle. On the opposing hill, the Philistines. Across the battlefield stood Goliath, 9 feet tall, a giant of a man from Gath, whose height and might struck fear into the heart of every Israelite. He challenges twice a day, morning and evening, mocking the Israelites with his call to battle. Choose a man and let him come down and fight. Young David was sent by his father to the battlefield to bring food for his brothers. Eager to see his brothers and hear news of the battle, amidst the nervous murmurs of the Israelite camp, young David's voice rose clear and confident. He approached King Saul and said, "Do not lose heart on account of this Philistine. I will go and fight him." Surprised by David's courage, the soldiers around him exchanged skeptical glances, but David's determination did not waver.
"The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine."
King Saul gave David with his own royal armor, but the weight was too much for David. He chose his familiar shepherd's tools, a sling and 5 smooth stones. Armed with the simple tools of a shepherd and the mighty faith in his God, David approached the battlefield. His heart was steady, for he knew that the battle was the Lord's. As the two faced each other, Goliath advanced with the weight of arrogance and the might of iron. David said, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David swung the sling and released the stone. Time seemed to stand still as the stone flew, striking Goliath squarely in the forehead. The giant fell face down to the earth, and David won, and the Philistines fled. David stood over Goliath, not in boastful pride, but in humble victory. His trust in God having delivered his people from bondage. Celebrations filled the camp. Songs of victory praising the God of Israel, who had delivered them through the hands of a young shepherd. David's victory over Goliath was not just a triumph of one over many, but a reminder that faith, regardless of size or strength, conquers all. David would go on to be one of the greatest kings of Israel. Hope you enjoyed this story. See you in the next Bible story.